Do not attempt to adjust your device screen. We are in control of the broadcast. We control the horizontal. We control the vertical. The time has come. Please stand by for a live transmission from Halloween Daily News. Yes, yes, yes. All right, everybody, light up those pumpkins because we are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. It is a new year, it is a new era, and it is Michael Myers Monday. What's up, everybody? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to it. If you happen to be brand new here, my name is Matt. We are Halloween Daily News, and this mid-winter masquerade that you found yourself in the middle of this evening is what we like to call Michael Myers Monday Live. Our mostly weekly, although not lately, gathering geek out celebration of the greatest fictional serial killer ever put on screen, best franchise in horror of all time. Talking about Michael Myers, the Halloween franchise. So thank you for being here. And to everyone else, our returning friends, what's up, you guys? You're here, you made it, you're alive, you survived. And normally I say you survived another week and another Monday. I just did the math, and I'm not very good at math, but it looks like it's been 7 long weeks since the last time we did this. I know, crazy. It was like way back in 2023 the last time we did this. Crazy. The longest hiatus since we started doing these Monday night live streams. So I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate you not forgetting that we exist and that we're here. So in this case, not only did you and we all survive another week, another Monday, which I always say is worth celebrating, we survived 7 of them and a lot of crazy holidays in between and some really cold winter days and nights, at least where we live. I don't know about you guys. So anyway, all that's worth celebrating. So let's do it. We're here to celebrate tonight. Thank you for being here. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Welcome to it. Let's get to it. All right, I see a lot of friends and familiar faces lighting up the live chat already, like we love to see. Thank you so much, guys. Got to give a shout out to our channel members. I already see a couple of them signing in. The great Andromeda in the house. Of course, Brett Patrick as well. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your support, for being a channel member. It's just $5 a month, guys. Got to plug that. We're going to be doing our first ever members exclusive live event very soon. All right, let me scroll up and say hello. Let's see, Megan checked in. Teen Wolf, David Suber among the very first ones to check in. Tim Leo in the house as well. Phil is here. Solid Saturn. Rob Windsor. Excellent, excellent. Welcome, guys. Michael Myers in the house. Stalking, lurking silently as it should be. Josh Baker Videos is here. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you. Let's see who else has checked in. Eduardo, what's up, man? Hey, hey. Happy Michael Myers Monday. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I'm sure I'll get to you eventually this evening. All right, guys. Like I said, it has been a few minutes since our last gathering, and while we don't have a ton of breaking news to talk about this week, there has been some news that's come out in recent weeks, and just some stories that I want to hit on that we haven't. While we might have reported on it and shared it here, even on YouTube in the community tab, we haven't discussed it properly with the Triple M crew here the way it's meant to be and the way we have to do it. So we're gonna do all of that. We've got some fun clips, a little bit of H45 flashback material. Right off the bat, though, before we get too far into anything, we got to give a huge shout out and recognition and a very happy birthday to the legendary, the great, our friend, Dick Warlock. Today, February 5th, 2024, is Mr. Warlock's 84th birthday. Sending him good vibes. Hoping he's having a great evening this evening. Had a great day today. I hope he did. I should be wearing my H2 shirt, I know. But this one, as you guys know, even though it says Halloween, it is a reference to the Jaws poster. And of course, as you know, Dick Warlock, not only is he Michael Myers in Halloween 2, the assassin in Halloween 3, stunt coordinator for both, but among his many other illustrious credits, of course, he's in a little movie called Jaws. He was Richard Dreyfuss' stunt double in the cage in that scene. Almost drowned, almost died doing it. Oh, I don't know what that was. We might have lost connection for just a second. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but looks like we're back. So I'm just going to keep going. Byron has checked in. What's up, man? Sam is in the house as well. JB is here. Thanks for being here, guys. Awesome. I love it. Good to see everybody. Oh, yeah. Mr. Halloween 1313 is here as well. Axel has checked in. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So like I said, right off the bat, we're wishing Mr. Dick Warlock a very happy birthday today. And it being this legend's birthday, of course, you know, I got a clip of my most recent conversation with Dick Warlock queued up. I'm going to save it for a little bit later on because there's some other cool stuff I want to get into this evening, but here he is. This is from a couple years ago, but that's Sue with Dick Warlock there in 2019, and that's Dick's wife, Kat, there behind them. And even more recently, here's a shot that we captured of the legendary Dick Warlock just last year at H45 out in Pasadena. Legend, to say the least. Like I said, I do have a very fun clip with Dick talking H2 that we're going to play a little bit later on. But there's a few other fun things I do want to get into first before we get into all that. And of course, towards the end of the show, we're going to go over some shout outs. We're going to launch a new poll question for you guys. And like I said, we've got a few little just news nuggets, bite-sized fun bits to go over this evening with you guys. But first, I always like to try to start with a show and tell when I can. And sometimes it's something we have in stock that we're selling. Sometimes it's something new from my personal collection. This time it's new for my personal collection. And I'm excited to show it off and talk about it with you guys. And I think you guys might know what I'm talking about. But before I pull it up, I'm going to go ahead, just in case you missed it, I'm going to play my most recent unboxing video. And this was a very special gift that was sent to us from one of you guys, from one of our esteemed regular viewers, one of our illustrious channel members. His name is Lee the Machine Bowers. He's probably lurking in the live chat now. If he's not yet, he's probably going to be checking in at some point this evening. He's a very regular viewer, supporter, and friend of HDN and of the channel. And yeah, it was just a very, very nice treat that what he hooked us up with. So just quickly, I'm going to play my previously recorded unboxing video, and then we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about this this product and just how cool it is. Meanwhile, while this video is playing, I'll still be here live, lurking and commenting as we go in the live chat. So check it out. If you've already seen it, then just bear with us for a few minutes. And otherwise, check out my most recent unboxing video. Hey everybody, Matt here with Halloween Daily News, and it is mail day here at HDN headquarters once again, and this is an especially exciting one today because this package that we're about to get into, this is, well, it's not from a studio or anybody promoting anything of their own in this case. We're always excited to receive anything in that realm, but in this case, this one is from one of you guys, one of our viewers, one of our supporters and friends of the channel here. His name is Lee the Machine Bowers, and Lee is one of our channel members. Just $5 a month, guys. You should think about joining us if you haven't already. He is a regular viewer and participant of our Michael Myers Monday live streams, and Lee reached out to me and said that he wanted to send us a gift. He's got an extra copy of that new book, that behind-the-scenes book that details the making of Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends, the recent Blumhouse David Gordon Green trilogy of Michael Myers movies. The book was released back in October of last year. I don't own it yet. I was able to flip through a copy just for a few minutes when we were out in Pasadena at H $1.45. And other than that, I have not gotten my hands on a physical copy of this. I am very excited to check it out and just super appreciative of Lee. So huge shout out and thank you to Lee the Machine Bowers for hooking us up. All right, right now we are going to get into this box that just arrived. Very fittingly, it arrived on Michael Myers Monday. So let's do it. All right, here we go. Let's open this package up and check it out. There it is in its glory. Oh man, wow, this is bigger than I remember it being. This is truly a coffee table sized hardcover book. There you see, written by Abby Bernstein, the official making of Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. And it's got that badass cover art from the that badass poster that was the original poster, the first image of the 2018 mask that we all saw when that poster was released. All right, let's crack this open, shall we? Try to avoid too much glare here. There is this plastic wrap that I have not cut into quite yet, but let's just soak in that cover right there. Again, the 2018 poster featuring the 2018 mask as it appears in that film, and on the back here, just a little bit of the behind the scenes images that we're gonna find inside of this must own for Michael Myers movie fans. And then you see the headline on the back, Michael Myers is back to finish what he started. It's got some text back there. All right, I am going to crack the plastic off of this book, and we're going to take a look inside right now. And here it is. Such a beauty. And let's go ahead. And right here, before we even get to page one, I love all the jack-o'-lanterns that welcome us to this amazing behind-the-scenes book celebrating the recent Halloween trilogy of movies from Blumhouse and Rough House. There you go. Gotta love all the orange welcoming us into this publication. Again, throwing it back to early 2018. You guys remember we covered the production, the pre-production of that film. That was a very early production image that surfaced and has become synonymous with the 2018 Halloween requel. And again, the book written by Abby Bernstein. Can't wait to check it out. It's out now from Titan Books. And I can't state this enough, though. This did not come from Titan Books. This came from the awesome Lee the Machine Bowers, a gift to us here at HDN. Thank you again, Lee, for this. Let's go through. Now, we're not going to read the entire book on camera right this minute. I will be diving into it this week. I plan to read it cover to cover, soak it all in, and I'll be doing a more formal review and a breakdown and discussion of everything that we learn from this book at a future time. But there's your contents page, and again, just one of our favorite images of Michael Myers from the recent films. Of course, played by our friend, the great James Jude Courtney. And let's just look here at the contents. You've got a foreword by David Gordon Green, an introduction called Slashing a New Path, and then it goes into Halloween, Death Returns to Haddonfield, Halloween Kills, a New Level of Terror, and the final chapter, Halloween Ends. It all ends now. with some acknowledgments at the end. And we'll go just a little more into this so you can see what we see. There's that foreword by David, and there he is on the set. And we will just flip through a little bit. Wow, I mean, chapter 1 here, slashing a new path. And right off the bat, we are getting just some amazing content that we've not seen anywhere else, not included in any of the Blu-ray bonus features. You know, Christopher Nelson, who led the special effects design team that created the masks for these 3 films. He's shared a lot of great behind-the-scenes imagery, but this particular one we've never seen. Look at this amazing image of the mask, an early sculpt of what would be the 2018 mask. Actually, I'm gonna pause this, and if you want to watch the rest of that video, you'll find it elsewhere on the channel. But we are gonna talk a little bit about just some of what I have discovered in here already. And no, I've not read the whole thing yet. Unfortunately, I've been swamped with just a ton of just other stuff going on in our life. But what I have read, I've made some notes. And this I wanted to point out. It's not. I didn't mention it in that video. I took the the paper cover off, which is badass, of course, but the actual book itself, you can't even tell so much in this light, unfortunately. Maybe there you can see some of the jack-o'-lanterns. It's covered. It's black. But it's all covered in jack-o'-lanterns, and then just the one is orange, the front and back, just like that. I love that. And then, as you saw in the unboxing video, you open it up, and there they are, in orange and black. I mean, this thing is I mean, it is truly a coffee table book. It is awesome. But a couple things I just wanted to point out tonight, and just again some early some of my early reading. I'm not even done reading all of the stuff from Halloween 2018, but of course David Gordon Green opens it up with a very nice foreword saying that this was the collaboration of his lifetime, and the image that we came off of that other video with. I said this was one of the sculpts. Now, what this actually is it's a sculpture of the mask for the 2018 movie. And you can see Christopher Nelson's amazing work right there. I think most of you guys own this, and you know how awesome it is. Now, there was one thing I wanted to point out that I found extra interesting in here. Confirmed something that I just found interesting because it applies to HDN. Brian Turek, Blumhouse producer, is quoted quite a bit in the book. Everybody is, all the principal people involved in making it. But he does talk about in the book the original working title and then the later working title, the code name, quote unquote, for Halloween 2018. And what he actually says in the book is pretty interesting. He makes note that the David Gordon Green's original code name for the film was Nightblade, and then Turek says, he's quoted by Eddie Bernstein in this book saying that then that working title and the filming location got leaked to all the horror sites, and so they ended up changing it, and Turek came up with Uncle Orange, which was what they ended up going with, even though it wasn't coded very well, because when they would send out notices to residents of the area and stuff, let them know they were filming, it would have the iconic Halloween jack-o'-lantern in the word Halloween as the O. So it was pretty obvious that it was a Halloween movie. But Um, I say all of that just to own our own little piece of this franchise's history here. Because, with all due respect to Mr. Turek, um, Nightblade was not leaked to all the horror sites. I have to say, on September 1 of 2017, which was still a good 3 or 4 months before they even started filming the 2018 film, a little website called HalloweenDailyNews.com were the first to exclusively report and break news that the Halloween 2018 working title was in fact Nightblade. And we also had uncovered some video of some actresses who had auditioned for a role that we even said at the time, you can see right there, we said that it was audition tapes for the role of Allison. And that was never, of course, officially confirmed, other than at the end, at the very end of the 2018 film, at the very end of the credits, it does say like Nightblade LLC or something to that effect. And again, it wasn't leaked. That didn't come from a source or anything. That I uncovered that just from good old fashioned investigative journalism and a little online detective work. And yeah, Nightblade was the code name for a few minutes anyway. And then as far as where they were shooting, which was of course Charleston, South Carolina, we also reported on that just a few weeks later. But again, that was no big secret. That came directly from an interview that David Gordon Green gave to Filmmaker magazine, where he stated straight up they were going to be shooting in Charleston 6 weeks from the time of that interview. So I don't know if that qualifies as a correction in the book or not, but certainly maybe just a clarification, just my own little commentary to add to it. I thought that was pretty interesting. And there is some other. I mean, there's just so much cool stuff in here, and it is funny because reading Abby's recounting of the 2018 film brings back a lot of memories of, because of course she interviews James Jude Courtney, and of course I interviewed James right after he got off set, before the reshoots, mind you. So that it all, some of it sounds a little bit familiar. But then, of course, she's talked to people I've never had direct access to, people like Malek Akkad, of course, obviously David Gordon Green, Bill Block, who was the head of Miramax. Now we've got a new head of Miramax that is partnering with Malek and Trancas. There's a great shot of James unmasked with that appliance that he wore in the first film. And yeah, I apologize, guys. There was another interesting tidbit that I had read in here that it was kind of something that we had discussed, but was never actually 100% confirmed until then. But I do like how even some of the images that I might have seen online somewhere before, like this one of Christopher Nelson down there in the corner holding the Myers mask. Well, Addie gives it even better context because that was the very first day of shooting the film. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, I could just get lost in this thing again. I mean, it's hard not to get distracted just flipping through it. But I mean, the behind the scenes images are great, and there's so many. It's just unbelievable. Obviously, she's talked to Jamie Lee Curtis, pretty much the whole cast. And again, I mean, you want to appreciate Christopher Nelson's work. I mean, this is the stuff. This is better than any of the bonus content on any of the three films Blu-rays. You guys, do you guys agree with that? I mean, because I just feel like, and this is kind of what I wanted to focus in on for just a minute. This great shot of the 2018 sculpt. Christopher Nelson goes into great detail about the process and the thoughts um and again he said what he could to me when we talked, but when we talked it was still um really much earlier than the studios would have liked anybody to be talking about it. But you can find that interview as well as my first interview with James in the interview section at HalloweenDailyNews.com. I urge you to check them out. They're both from 2018. And then, of course, I've got more recent conversations with James U. Courtney here on the channel. Now, like I said, I am far from done consuming all of this. There's so much stuff in here, but just, picking up some of those little tidbits. And like I said, when I buy a physical media of a movie, I mean, there's the collector in me that, likes owning it, likes collecting, the movie geek that, I want to own it. I don't want a streaming service to be able to cancel it on me. Um, but it's the bonus features also, especially for the reissues. Yeah, the quality's better, but I love those bonus features, and I feel like, unfortunately, studios are getting away from that when they're getting away from physical media nowadays and all that. But thank God for this, because this really fills in um, those gaps in a huge way and gives us really, like a documentary in print form right here. So really awesome stuff. Again, huge thanks to our buddy Lee the Machine Bowers. I'm going to be talking this one up for a while and talking much more about it, doing more in-depth breakdown, especially once I might go chapter by chapter maybe, but again, I'm not even done with the 2018 chapter yet. So maybe next week, when I'm done with that, we'll do a whole 2018 wrap up of everything I learned from this book on that film, and then the following week we could do kills, then end something like that maybe, because it is a fairly quick read now that I'm finally finding a few minutes to be able to get into it. But again, I can't say enough about this. Just killer cover. I mean, you can't really see it here where I'm shooting, I know, but it's got the jack-o'-lanterns all over this black cover. It's just so cool. And then of course the actual cover is, it's the iconic 2018 poster. But okay, there is a link to get the book. It's available right now. You can order it on Amazon. There's an affiliate link in the description of this video. A lot of you in the live chat already own it. Not surprisingly, and you agree with me that it is just unbelievable the amount of detail and breadth that they've got in there. Just really blew me away. All right. Moving on to another subject. Did you guys check out my recent interview published about a month ago with Cody Robinson? Speaking of Halloween 2018 and the recent trilogy. I hope you checked it out. We didn't have a live stream since, again, it was pre-holidays. Back in mid-December was the last live stream. But my last interview of the year, it was technically the last one we shot in 2023, right at the very end of December, and became the first interview to be published this year in early January, is with Cody Robinson. And he is an actor and stunt performer who has worked on a lot of really cool, notable projects. But we were talking, of course, most notably about his work with James U. Courtney doing some stunt doubling during the reshoots for the 2018 film, which Jamie Lee Curtis talks extensively about in there. They talk quite a bit about how, and again, everybody I've interviewed has said this, how the script was constantly changing, but with the reshoots, because there was the original ending of the film shot, done, and then at that point in time, back in 2018, I interviewed James Jude Courtney, Nick Castle, and Christopher Nelson, all within a span of a few weeks, all within weeks after principal photography wrapped, but before any of the reshoots had even happened. Um, so, again, those interviews, if you go back and read them on our website, they're kind of like time capsules. And of course, they couldn't say a whole lot. Christopher and Nick especially, couldn't say a whole lot. And James, there's no spoilers in there, but he it was very much his introduction to the fandom in a lot of ways, because he definitely owned the fact that he is the new Michael Myers. And that was kind of the headline we used. So check those out when you can. And if you haven't already, when we get done here, go check out my interview with Cody Robinson. It's a fun conversation. Like I said, he's a really cool dude. He loves Halloween itself, the holiday. Of course, we talked about that. He's worked on projects like In-Game and just all kinds of really cool projects over the years. And he brought a very, much like James Jude Courtney, he brought a very interesting psychological background and process into his portrayal, albeit as brief as it might be on screen. He was pretty well prepared with what he studied in college, and also having a police background as well. So, really cool interview. I don't have a clip with him queued up for tonight, maybe next week, but we got lots more cool interviews coming outside this franchise. If you haven't seen the new movie Departing Seniors, it's a slasher. It's out now. It's a fun kind of indie, low-budget slasher. I was lucky enough last week to be invited to interview two of the lead actors and the director. Those interviews are up right now. Hope you'll check those out. And again, the Cody Robinson interview is up right now elsewhere on this site. Did you guys see Jordan Peele, the great director, was talking up Michael Myers and John Carpenter once again recently? Did you guys see this story that we ran? There's a clip that Jordan Peele was on Conan O'Brien's Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend podcast. And appearing on the podcast, Jordan Peele spoke about The Shape. He says, because they were talking about horror films in general, and speaking about Michael Myers, Peele says, the thing about Michael Myers is I think of him as a truly minimalist villain, which I just love. That's always scariest, and Carpenter is a genius. What I love about that movie is how Carpenter tailored this monster in all the choices. The mask, the way he moves, the stillness, the shot from across the street, the Where's Waldo aspect. It's all very elegant for what's ultimately meant to be a brutal, killing tale. That's why I think horror is such elevated cinema when done right, end quote. And then later in that same podcast appearance, Peele reiterates something that he said before, that John Carpenter is the greatest horror director of all time. Peele says, quote, I find if I can unlock the right horror engine in the world, I can get more glee out of trying to tell that story than even doing sketch or any other thing. But it's not like I can just go, okay, I'm going to make my Michael Myers movie where I make a movie about a killer with a knife and necessarily have that be fun for me. That's not my thing. Respect, that's why Carpenter is the GOAT in horror. But I'm going to be looking for some way to subvert that in my own way. end quote. It's a great clip, and they actually talk about a lot of other cool horror movies in the clip as well. You can find that right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com as well. If you've seen it, let me know what you think of the clip. I love Jordan Peele. I love his movies. I think he's super talented, and I love his respect for Carpenter and for Michael. All right, I'm gonna take a breath and a drink. Excuse me. Brett Patrick, you got Christopher Nelson to sign your book. Nice. Josh Baker says sent a letter to Sean Clark's PO box last week. Hope he reads it on the next The Thing with Two Heads episode. I'm sure he probably will. Awesome. And by the way, if you guys want to send us a letter or any other treats to be unboxed like Lee did, no pressure. Not that we expect that. The mailing address is in the description of this video and all of our videos, by the way. If you're so inclined. David says, fantastic book, definitely. Yes, the mask does look weird without hair. Vibes has checked in. Halloween Vibes, what's up, man? Josh says, I like to get out, and nope. Nice. Or nope, you didn't really care for. Um, and then we're going to talk about this for just a minute because, again, we were on quite the hiatus from these live streams, and I know plenty of other channels and sites have even discussed this, but we'll talk about it here for just a second. Dwight Little, of course, did an interview last month, about a month ago, with Blade Disgusting, talking about his upcoming memoir. He also talked a little bit about Natty Knox. I've interviewed two of the leads in that film. I hope you'll check that out when you get a chance. But in the interview, of course, Halloween 4 comes up, and Dwight Little states that he has, he's talked to Malek Akkad. He's excited for the TV series that's in development, and sure, would love to come back and do a Halloween 4 requel, basically. We've discussed ideas that, yeah, wouldn't it be cool if, since they've done the requel, the Laurie Strode requel more than once now. They did it with H2O, they did it again with 2018. Why not do the Jamie Lloyd requel, right? Just pick up her story 40 years later and just ignore parts 5 and 6, presumably, right? And it sounds like Dwight Little would be all for doing something like that in this interview. Which is cool to hear him acknowledge that he'd be down. Danielle Harris has said that she'd be down. You'll remember my interview with Danielle going back as far as late 2021. I asked her about coming back, and she said, yeah, if it was to do Jamie somehow, that she could get into. And, obviously she just worked with Dwight on Natty Knox. They're friends. She just shared a throwback picture today, as a matter of fact, on her social media, talking about how Dwight is the only director. He discovered her in H4. They worked together, and a few years later, in the Steven Seagal film Marked for Death, and then all these years later brings her back in Natty Knox. Um, so it, you know, the question, and again, I hesitate to even talk too much about this because, I mean, during our downtime, of course, I'm on YouTube. Of course, algorithms suggest Michael Myers related content. So I've seen headlines on other channels and so forth um, that Dwight Little has pitched Halloween 4 Part 2 to Malek Akkad and all this. And look, I'm sure they've had conversations. I'm sure Malek has and probably is having all kinds of conversations and considering everything. Um, and he says, I mean, let's pull up the actual quote here. This is bloody disgusting. Um, Little says, I would love to do it with Alan McElroy, writer from H2. He says, of course, we have to be invited, and I'm sure they have people that they're interested in, so we'll see how it plays out. But sure, I would jump into that in a minute if we could figure out how to make that work. And then he goes on to say, not only would I do it, I've actually pitched it. And he says, quote, you keep Rachel alive and follow through with Jamie and Rachel. Ellie Cornell is alive and well and living on the East Coast, and I just worked with Danielle Harris, and she's a doll. I think that's a great movie. I think they should call it Halloween 4 Part 2. Just be upfront about it and say what it is, because that's what it would be. In my own opinion, more than a TV show, I think that would get a lot of attention. So he's pitching it even as a movie. So there's that. And again, I would love to get more of where this story could go. And I do think that there is an audience and maybe a platform and a way to do that. But is that going to be the next feature film in this franchise? I don't think so. Could it be, as we've talked about, some way maybe incorporated into the future TV series that's in development with Miramax? Possibly. But you got to remember, there's still so many questions about this TV series, and so this brings us now to the future of this franchise. And and before we get into that, let's pause and thank ProtectSafes.com for just dropping in a happy triple M, you freaks, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. ProtectSafes.com. And that reminds me that super chats are enabled. Just like memberships are enabled. We encourage you. It's only $5 a month to become a member. We're trying to build up that community. But yeah, super chats absolutely help and are wide open. So thank you, ProtectSafes.com. And welcome back. And happy Michael Myers Monday. Everybody, toast to Protect Safes. All right. Actually, before we talk about the TV series and just a little discussion on where that's at right now. Well, I've got a few related clips. But before we get to these related clips, I'm going to go ahead and use this opportunity to do something different and let you guys know, remind you that we have merch. That's right. We have HDN merch, and that's one of the things I'm trying to do this winter before things get really crazy for us is update our merch site with lots of new products. Just yesterday, I added 2 new hats. We got a new beanie hat, and we got a ball cap style hat, both with the classic HDN logo treatment. We got a bunch of different t-shirts up there, including this one, the Triple M Crew shirt. Now, channel members, as soon as they become members, they get an immediate 31% off everything in the merch store. All you guys, though, everything is priced as affordable as they'll allow us to do it. Here is just a little bit more about our HDN merch. Hey, everybody. With many different designs are available, many different styles, colors, all sizes, including the original HDN Classic, our special Triple M Crew design for the Michael Myers Monday regulars out there, and our brand new What Would John Carpenter Do design. All of these are available, like I said, multiple sizes, colors, and styles on t-shirts. And that's not all. We've got other merch available like mugs and stickers and lots of other cool stuff. Check it out now at the merch link in the description of this video. Yes, check out our HDN merch link in the description of this video. Get your Triple M Crew shirt. Get your What Would John Carpenter Do shirt. Get your Halloween Daily News shirt. And give me some suggestions for some new cool Hallow sayings that we can incorporate. Some cool designs. Some cool ideas. Let us hear from you. All right. Now, this is very fitting. Before we get into our Halloween TV series discussion, let's play another clip. Check out this clip. This is the great Malek Akkad from H45, his Q&A panel. This is a clip we shared a few weeks ago because we couldn't go live that night. But check it out. It's a very entertaining clip of Malek talking about a couple of the pitches that he had to turn down over the years. Check it out. Speaking of pitches.
Halloween Bloodlines, and Laurie Strode donates her blood. See where it's going? And anyone who received her blood, Michael's going after. That call lasted as long as that, no. And that, you know, there's just so many, but anyway, so sorry to cut you off, sir. The next part, sorry.
So, regarding the comics, I mean, I collect comics. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one in here who does. I remember back in the 90s, you'll see where I'm going with this real quickly, but I remember I was reading, they had Batman versus Predator, then it was Batman versus the Xenomorph and Alien. And I'm wondering, how come no one ever decided to put Batman against Michael Myers? The story practically writes itself.
Good question. You know, the other one, a lot of times my job is, unfortunately, just saying no to so much bad stuff. And I will say, along with my great team, you know, we've kept Michael Myers out of a lot of junk. There was a tie-in with Dr. Pepper. There was a tie-in with Mitsubishi, the TV. There's lots that get thrown at us, and we're just like, that's horrible. So one of them was, another fun pitch was Michael versus Hellraiser, and probably a lot of you know about that one. And it was on the heels of Freddy Jason, and oh, that was a tough one. Not for me, but it was a fight. Come on now, I'm gonna do it. You guys can guess who that was. Come on now, I'm gonna do that. Michael Freddy. I mean, Michael had Pinhead. Come on. I said, absolutely not. Michael is here, and of course I'm biased. And so that was another big no, and another. During that period of just saying no to a lot of bad pitches. So anyway.
Would you ever consider?
He's gonna do it anyway. Listen, I'll tell you something though, Michael. We have considered everything, and it's been considered Michael in space, Michael in Belize, Michael. So everything you're gonna say has been thought about. What it hasn't been done is taken with a really strong auteur, David Gordon Green, or someone like him, and he takes it. It's easy to just, you know, someone just says, well, Michael at a rodeo. But if David Gordon Green tells me that, oh, now I'm listening. So everything's been considered, and we're considering everything, but I appreciate you.
Yeah, I see. Josh Baker says Dr. Pepper. Yeah, I mean, the Dr. Pepper one was actually funny because I'm like, well, is that because of the famous Nick Castle photos with the Dr. Pepper? You know, I mean, did literally Dr. Pepper say, hey, let's say, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could almost picture what would the ad be? What would the ad possibly be with Michael Myers and Dr. Pepper? The only thing I could think is if they would do something like how you've seen those ads. I think it's Jack Daniels does the ads where it's like, we were there for all these cool rock star moments. It's like all these famous rock stars chugging a bottle or holding a bottle at least of Jack Daniels, right? To say, oh, we were here at all these, wherever it was happening. Was Dr. Pepper going to do something like that and say we were there for all the horror milestones or cinematic milestones of the world and then show Nick Castle's famous photo or something? I don't know. Probably not. But what? Yeah. How would they have even tied that in? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Michael lifting up his mask and drinking the Dr. Pepper. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. All right. On the other side of the spectrum from the failed pitches, the bad pitches, the turned down pitches. This is Malek, exactly what he said, teasing the future of the franchise. And now, um, we know a little bit more, what he was alluding to. Of course, this was recorded on September 30th, and later on in the month of October, some of what he was teasing would come to light. But still, it kind of sends goosebumps, gives me goosebumps when I hear some of this. So check out this highlight package. And by the way, the full panel, or at least our full coverage of Malek's panel, is available for channel members only as an exclusive for them right now. All right, check out this clip, and then start giving me your thoughts on this TV series that's going to be happening here soon, and I'll give you my take on this and where everything's at after this clip.
I don't like to talk too much about it before it happens, but let me just say, as Halloween fans, it's going to be a fun couple years.
Just wondering what your general goals are for where you take the franchise next, and what is realistic in terms of the time frame to see.
So, definitely it's new heights that we're at now, and Michael has just become, American lexicon, and that is fun, and it's kind of a beast sometimes to even try and ride that thing with my guy right here, and this is for me the best, this celebration of it, and seeing all you guys, so that just somehow makes me feel like we're doing our job. Where it goes, I can tell you one thing, it's going to stay at that elevated level. We're going to keep it quality. You don't please everyone, I know, all the time, but we got some really cool stuff coming that I know this base is going to really love. So, time frame, you mentioned. Well, there was all these rumors last week. I don't know where they started, but there's always a kernel of truth, I will say, and so we're working on it. We're working on it. A lot of things in the works right now. Just take a little while. So things will be dropping. I guess, watch this space. We got fun stuff coming. We might have a big one before Halloween, actually, the holidays. So, yeah.
I have a question. When are we going to get a Halloween licensed AAA video game?
Watch this space. I wish I could, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes, and that would be the headline just a few weeks after H45, when it would come to light that Miramax had worked out the deal with Trancas for the TV rights. They already share the movie rights with Trancas, so it makes all the sense in the world, now that these two entities control both the Halloween franchise movies and now the Halloween franchise TV rights. That's when it came in, and that initial breaking story termed it as cinematic universe planned. And everybody has kind of ran with that, like, oh, what's that mean? It could mean all kinds of things, multiverse of Michael Myers and all kinds of stuff like that. I've said here before, I said here last year before our long hiatus, that I don't think it's going to be anything quite as crazy as some of the craziness that I've heard hypothesized that it could be. Um, I do think it's interesting that right now, there's so many questions about this TV series. Um, and yes, when I'm talking about seeing these other channels headlines, I've seen headlines where maybe a movie's coming first and then the TV series. And look, anything's possible with this franchise. That's not the way that initial announcement was presented by any means. And from my research, I've not found anything really supporting that. It is kind of funny how the internet and YouTube and just kind of just the world we're in right now, things happen. Somebody makes a video. Somebody with a pretty big following. Uh, they say something, their opinion, their speculation, their idea, their hypothesis, their educated guess, and then other channels that often do commentary and speculation on similar subjects. All of a sudden, like next day, massive rumor. Here's the newest rumor. I mean, I don't even know what constitutes a rumor nowadays, but I don't think it's as simple as that. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion and to make educated speculation, and that's a lot of what we do here. I mean, we are Halloween Daily News, so I like to think when we're reporting the news, there is some integrity, maybe a little bit, tiny bit more than some other outlets, but not necessarily here on Monday nights. I've said that for 4 years now too. That on Monday nights, I consider this when I take off the reporter hat and put on the Michael Myers mega fan hat and just sit and geek out and hang out with you guys. All that being said, my own personal speculation on where all this is at is, because the question is, are we going to see this go into production this year? Are we going to see it possibly be released in 2024, or is it much more realistically to be thinking 2025? And we've got some great fan art that is very hopeful in suggesting a streaming 2024 date. I used some of that concept fan art by the great Creepy Duck Design in our thumbnail for tonight's live stream. This is the full poster that he put out a few weeks ago. Pretty simple concept. It's Michael Myers, pretty much our most recent version, with the missing fingers and the bandaged hand and the burnt up left side of the coveralls. And then it's got this wonderful quote from Connell Cochran from H3 when he says, "It will be morning again soon, Halloween morning." And again, Headless Michael, Faceless Pumpkin, and the text underneath Halloween, if you can't read it there, it says, "A new anthology series streaming 2024. So again, it's just a concept. He's just imagining maybe it's a anthology series. And in his imagining, Creepy Duck's imagining, it'll be streaming this year, which would be great. I'm all for it. That'd be awesome. But are they far enough along to get an entire series shot and ready to come out, presumably for Halloween season? Because let's face it, if they release anything in this franchise with the word Halloween in the title at any other month other than October from now on moving forward, then I mean, it's just suicide for them. It's just I see no reason to ever do that. These last movies thankfully went back to that October release, which always was the way until H6 was released in September. Resurrection was inexplicably released in July. But then the Rob Zombie films were released Labor Day weekend, and because the first one broke all the records for Labor Day weekend, they stuck with that. And if I remember, H2O was released in August too, inexplicably. So let's keep it all in October. But anyway, we've got some really cool fan art that certainly is hopeful for 2024. But look, they would have to be pretty far along in this process right now, and considering the writer's strike, ended not too long ago, there hasn't been a whole lot of time where they could get a whole lot done. And how much of this were they already working on behind the scenes before the deal was even finalized? Because make no mistake, that deal with the TV series was not finalized as of H45, or they would have absolutely taken the opportunity to announce it to all of us sitting there in that audience. Malek probably would have done it during that very panel. Had it been, it just was not a done deal at that time, so they couldn't say anything. He knew it was close. He knew it was close. That's why he said, might be something coming. But you got to consider this year, what's probably more realistic is moving into spring and summer. We're going to start getting some of the puzzle pieces coming together for what this series could be. Because at this moment, it could literally be anything. It could be, and that says anthology. A lot of people are talking anthology because that'd be a cool way to go. But even if you're going to do anthology, what type of anthology? Is it like an American Horror Story type anthology where it's one story every season? Because if it's going to be that, you've got to really knock it out of the park season one to even get to do any of your other ones. And I don't think Halloween 4 Part 2 is a way to knock it out of the park for season one. If that's the way they're going to go, I think it'd have to be something brand new and fresh. And then say maybe down the line we can look at doing requelized stories from some of our existing Choose Your Own Adventure timelines. That I could see. But I don't see them jumping out of the gate with a requelized, story, be it Halloween 4 or anything, if that's the type of anthology they're going to do. I do think if that's the type of anthology they're going to do, it'd be really cool to say, look, this is our plan. This year it's an all new story, and in years future we're not ruling anything out. Maybe it'll be requel type stuff. That'd be cool. On the other hand, what if it's like a creep show style anthology where like every episode is its own thing, or like in creep show's case, every episode it's 2 stories. That now I could really see something like, again, Malek saying, all right, you want to do Halloween 4 Part 2. You, Danielle, you got 60 minutes. Do whatever you want. You got an episode of our first season of our end. You know what I mean? Like one episode. And yeah, some fans would say, oh, that's not enough. That's not. I don't know. That could be like just what the doctor ordered for something like that. At the same time, you could go back. You could do a resurrection requel. You could do a close out Rob Zombie's story differently if someone was so inclined. You could pick up. What if they said every episode's different? It's its own thing. We're going to start off season 1, 8 to 12 episodes, and yeah, the majority of them are going to be brand new things. But within those new things, yeah, we're going to do one story that picks up with Jamie Lloyd, one story that picks up with Allison, and I don't know, one story that is set in the Silver Shamrock universe or something. Yeah, I mean that would be pretty innovative for a franchise that's always the one to be innovative and start the trend. It is usually this franchise that starts the trends. But yeah, I don't see them, banking a feature film or even really a whole series on like that Dwight Little idea, or really on any of the requel ideas that we've discussed here. As cool as they could all be used in the TV format, I don't see them jumping into that. And again, I'm not basing this anything other than my own educated guess, speculation, and just, how it would be to try to market something like that and so forth. And then there's another way that this series can go, which is it's not an anthology at all. It's what I've said from the beginning would be my first choice that it should be, and I still hope it is going to be, and I still think it's probably most likely to be, honestly. Give us that Dr. Loomis show. Young Loomis, you got 15 years from Michael, age 6 and 63, all the way to 78. 15 years of where Michael's sitting there doing nothing, and Loomis is slowly going mad trying to help him, meanwhile helping other patients. And you could tell a lot of stories, set them all around Halloween time at Smith's Grove. You could get a lot of seasons out of that. And yeah, you could just cast one kick-ass actor as our new Dr. Loomis. I still say that's the way to go. I still think if I had to guess and predict, sure, I'll say that's where they're going to go. I would be there for the anthology. That could be a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. But there's so many questions now, and that is why it's very interesting. But I don't think time-wise we're going to see this air this fall. I think realistically we're going to start seeing announcements about the writers, maybe a showrunner, maybe some directors. I think a lot of that stuff is getting finalized as we speak, and I think moving into spring and this summer, We're going to start getting some concrete announcements about this thing. It's going to start taking shape, no pun intended, and we're going to start seeing what this thing's going to look like. And wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be so cool if by end of summer, early fall this year, production begins? We see that Instagram post from Miramax and from Trancas, and they start up an official account for, you know, Halloween the series or whatever it's going to be called, Haddonfield the series or whatever. And it's that slate saying day one, scene one, you know, production officially underway. If that happens, it's totally conceivable that on October 31st, they gift us with, I don't know, something, an image of one of our new characters, maybe one of our classic characters, some announcement, some title treatment, maybe. Who knows? And then they would take a whole year, finish production, do any reshoots that's necessary, edit it, etc. Hype the living hell out of it all of next year, and then drop it on one of the major streaming networks, I would think. I mean, that'd be my vote. You know, that's a whole other thing. What kind of a series? They say TV series, but what is TV in 2024? I mean, does that mean literally like a network? It's going to air on Thursday nights on NBC or ABC or whatever? Or does that mean it's going to be like dropping new episodes every Sunday night on like Max or something? Or is it going to be like a Paramount Plus? Or are we going to get the whole thing dropped on Netflix on one night, you know, Halloween weekend, and we can binge all 8 or 10 episodes at once? That's a whole lot to consider, and the way it's going to be released, I would think, is going to influence a little bit, or maybe vice versa, the stories they're going to tell. You know, I mean, sometimes it's kind of cool to not be able to binge, to have a week in between episodes, to let it kind of marinate in your head. You know what I mean? I know that's kind of old school. I'm like an old man. Oh, you know, way of watching shows, but you know, there's something to be said for waiting a week sometimes, not all the time. But anyway, so that's my take on where we're at right now. Like I said, I don't have anything real concrete. I've seen the quote unquote rumors, and I wouldn't put much stock in any of that because, again, I mean, people's, first of all, definition of rumor is kind of loose. But then again, on the other side of that, I did just play a clip from a few months ago of Malek Akkad himself saying that when other rumors were surfacing just ahead of that event, that there's always a kernel of truth in that. So there you go. Give me your thoughts on all of this right now. I've said before our break, and I still feel like this is the most exciting time when it comes to Michael Myers in this franchise that I felt since they announced, really since those articles, those Nightblade articles, and those, oh, it's filming in Charleston articles. Because even the Charleston article, we knew Jamie Lee was coming back by that time. At Nightblade, there was no Jamie Lee coming back. There was none of that. And that was the most exciting time until now, because we just had no idea. All we knew was a new movie's coming, and all we know now is a show is coming. And again, I've said it before, and I'll just reiterate what I've said. Just my personal opinion, when they say shared cinematic universe, I wouldn't read too much into that other than they're going to make a show. They're going to have some characters, and maybe some of these characters show up in the next movie they make, you know? Maybe the main character of the show isn't the main character of the movie, or vice versa. But I think that's all they're doing is trying to keep their options open. And why wouldn't they? I mean, I think that's the advantage of why Malek and Trancas made the decision to go with Miramax. I mean, yeah, they've got history with the company, but the company isn't like a big 100-person company. There's a very few people that work for that company, and you know, a lot of those people weren't there back in the day. So they do have history with the company, but not necessarily with these people. But I think it's because if we go with them, we've got the movie rights and the TV rights, and we can intermingle in a way that if those copyrights are divided, which you see happen in other franchises all the time, there's certain things you can do, certain things you can't do. I mean, whether you're talking about Marvel and what characters they have rights to and don't, and you see stuff like that all the time. So I think it was a smart move for them to go with Miramax, and for that reason. And I think it's, like I said, the most exciting time because we just have no idea. We might wake up tomorrow and have the first puzzle piece come in. But I really think that's what this year's probably going to be about. And that's okay because I don't want them to necessarily rush it. While I definitely would love to see a 2024 premiere, they'd have to be pretty far along on things right now. And we did just get ends, not even 2 years ago yet. So that's what I think, though. It's not what I know. That's what the fan in me is hypothesizing. The reporter does not have anything new to add to the report at this time regarding that. Okay. Let me jump over here into the live chat real quick, and then we're going to do poll results and shout outs, and I'm going to get out of here. Byron says, what if they call the TV series Tales of Haddonfield? Yeah, they couldn't call it Tales of Halloween because that's already a movie name. I mean, they could, but it'd be ridiculous. They could put it on AMC or on Netflix. Yeah, I mean, AMC, they could do it. Then it's tied in with Shudder and everything. Wolf says, imagining promos like American Horror Story, something so weird. Yeah, but builds insane hype, like maybe live stream cut with Michael's mask in the snow with the words he's coming. Yeah, I mean, yeah, stuff like that would be really cool. And, that would be, again, it's just my mind starts going with the possibilities because we just don't know. And it's so, again, is it going to be a traditional series? If so, to me, the story that's time has come to tell that should be told, I think, in the wake of this, what the last trilogy did for the Laurie Strode character and just her mythology and place in cinema history and horror history. Awesome. I want to see a show essentially do that to Loomis. You know, let's dive back into that character, and it'd be so cool just to have a show, a horror show, an R-rated, mature audiences horror show set in Smith's Grove primarily, with all the insanity, no pun intended, that comes in and out of there. Oh my god, I think it could be so fun and so cool. Yeah. Yes, Byron, a Hannibal style TV series. Yeah, revolving around Corey Cunningham. Yeah, I mean, the way Hannibal, I mean, that was an incredibly, yeah, that was on network TV. It definitely surprised me at the amount of just insanity they were able to pack into that show on network TV. Saturn says if we don't have an announcement on when it comes by this October, it's probably going to come out 2026. Yeah, hopefully we won't have to wait that long. But you never know. Oh man, here he is. The man himself, Lee the Machine Bowers. I was talking about you earlier tonight, man. Look, I got my book right here. I took the cover off so I could handle it without getting fingerprints on my cover, but also because I wanted to show everybody how badass the actual hardback cover is itself. But there he is, everybody. Lee the Machine Bowers. Friend of the channel, friend of HDN. Everybody, let's salute the man with an awesome $9.99, $10 super chat for the channel. Happy Michael Myers Monday, Lee. You are the man. Thank you. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Everybody, salute to Lee. And thank you. I am loving that book, Lee. It is, yeah, if you missed me praising you and the book, you're going to have to go back and watch the earlier parts of the stream. But, yeah, I am so, really just so stoked to own that book and to be finally just beginning really to dig into it. I've perused a lot of the photos, and it's just outstanding. And now I'm actually reading Andy's text, and like I said, I'm not even done with the 2018 chapter yet. But man, so thank you, Lee the Machine Bowers. You are the man. You are awesome. But yeah, Team Wolf, I like your idea of some really creepy, weird promos. But what do you guys think? I mean, would you prefer the episodic anthology or the seasonal anthology or a traditional like serialized story? You know, the Loomis story, like I'm pitching, I guess I would say. Oh, and it's after midnight now. We still got, I'm going to launch a new poll, and we got some shout outs. But, and I still got my clip from my Dick Warlock 2021 interview queued up. I know I've played it here numerous times. If you guys don't want me to play it, I guess we don't have to this week, because it is about 10 minutes. But then again, it is his birthday, and if you want. But before we get to that, though, in any case, let's just jump over here real quick and launch this week's poll question. Lee says Aaron Armstrong would be perfect to play Michael Myers in any upcoming Halloween movie. Yeah, he did great in those flashback scenes of kills. Yeah, he was really, really great. All right, let's pull up the community tab. Because just a bit ago we launched a brand new poll question for this week. Because it's the great Dick Warlock's birthday, of course, it's a Halloween 2 focus question. And we want to know, what is your favorite kill / death scene from Halloween 2, 1981, of course. Your options are Nurse Karen, Nurse Janet, Nurse Jill, Bud, or Ben Tramer. And, of course, there's a few others that we didn't have room for. If you want to vote for Mrs. Alves or Mr. Garrett or Alice, you can write them in. And whatever you vote for, I urge you to drop us a comment and explain your decision in the comments. And we'll discuss next week during our next Triple M live stream. So already we got a few votes. And it looks like Nurse Jill taking the early lead. Kind of funny because she was featured in this week's featured meme, which I didn't create. I don't know who created it, but it's pretty funny. So she's taking the early lead at 50%. Bud in second place with 33%, followed by Nurse Karen at 17%. Kind of funny that Bud's in the lead over Nurse Karen. Janet getting no love. I gotta say, Janet is my favorite kill in H2. I rewatched it the other day, you know. Are you guys watching the Universal Monsters channel on Freebie? It's like on Prime Video, but they got all these completely free channels, Freebie, with commercials. It's Universal Monsters, and it's all day. It's all Universal horror, and they do everything from the classic black and white Dracula and all that, all the way up to like the 80s and 90s, even like Candyman and stuff. So yeah, Carpenter's The Thing, and of course H2, H3 are on there quite a bit. And so the other night I actually watched H2 and H3 in their entirety, just randomly. And yeah, as much as I love all those kills in H2, Janet with the needle in the eye, and Michael coming out of the darkness after she's found Dr. Mixter, and it's that homage to, you know, Michael coming out of the darkness after Laurie in the original, and they kind of recreate it and do it again. I just love that. It's awesome. Yeah, Stick Warlock, one of the absolute greatest Michael Myers ever. And just an incredibly awesome, cool person. All right, let's go ahead and do shout outs. Byron says you could do a Saw 10 or Saw X type of film that picks up after Halloween 3, basically filling in the blanks before the events of H4. That would be interesting to do if they were to do that, you know, because that's similar to what they did in the comics with the first death of Laurie Strode. So it would be interesting. They could possibly do that. I know, there are those comic stories. You guys were talking about them. Teen Wolf was talking about them earlier. There's those great comic book stories. And in Malek's panel video, you see it right there. Who was up there moderating but Steph Hutchinson, who wrote all those great Halloween comics. And, of course, the third and final issue of the first death of Laurie Strode was never released. It'd be great to finally get that story closed out, or even the whole story adapted in some way, maybe a series or an episode of a series. Who knows? All right, let's jump over to the site formerly known as Twitter to start tonight's Triple M shoutouts. And this one's coming to us from Lily Myers at Lilith Myers 97. Love that. It says, I'd kill to be your Valentine. Gotta love the Michael Myers themed killer Valentines. Jumping over to Instagram now. This is from our buddy Dag Farrick. And he shared some behind the scenes from the set of Halloween Remake.
Happy Michael Myers Monday.
POV or Michael Myers.
Pretty cool. And not to be outdone, Daig's co-star and adult counterpart, Tyler Mane, shared this behind-the-scenes video from the same film, Halloween '07 remake. He says, "Doorbells, who needs them?" Check it out.
Believe that was the boogeyman.
And let's jump over to Threads for a minute. This was posted 4 weeks ago, but again, it's been quite a few weeks since we've done a live stream or any shout outs. So this was posted by Double X Cheshire Double X, and you can see she's rocking her Michael Myers apparel with her Michael Myers coffee mug. I can relate, be it coffee or whatever your Triple M beverage of choice may be. So happy Michael Myers to you, Cheshire. One more from Threads. This was posted 2 weeks ago. Again, making up for lost time. By Autumn Bruja. Says it's Michael Myers Monday. If you like horror, spooky things, and Halloween is your lifestyle, we should be friends. Well, yeah. That's us all the way. And one more for this week. We'll jump over to good old TikTok. And this was posted earlier today by Frankenswag23 on TikTok, who says, in honor of Michael Myers Monday, just thought I'd share my Halloween collection. And we always like an impressive collection. And yeah, he's got a pretty good one he's starting here. Not bad at all. Yeah, got the lunchbox. So there we go. That's tonight's Triple M shout-outs. If you want to shout out during our live stream, the best way is to tag us, or better yet, just send us a DM, hit us up, and on your social media platform of choice. Again, reminder, we got all kinds of new merch up in our merch store. Hit us up if you haven't already. What I'm going to do right now, because I don't hear anybody objecting. Oh, Rob says John Carpenter should do the first episode of the new TV series. Yeah, I think that makes all the sense in the world, that he should absolutely direct at least one episode. First episode or the last episode, the season finale. He did, as you know, should know if you're a regular viewer, he directed an episode of his new series, Suburban Screams. It's like a true crime series on Peacock. I interviewed his wife, Sandy King, about it. And John actually directed sitting on the couch at home as they were filming over in Bulgaria. So, yes, Rob, Dick Warlock is the grandfather of Halloween. Horror legend. Yes, he is. All right. And that's why, yeah, we're not going to end without one more tribute to the great Dick Warlock, the legend. So I'm going to play this clip. This is from my 2021 video interview with Dick Warlock. Now, my very first time I interviewed Dick Warlock was way back in 2015, almost 10 years ago. And that started a relationship that we've had over the years, and we've kept in contact. And, of course, today's his 84th birthday. So sending him good vibes. He's a legend. Check out this clip. I'll still be lurking here in the live chat, and then I'll come on afterwards for one final sign off. All right, check this out. Of the we apologize for the technical difficulties. We now resume your regularly scheduled Dick Warlock clip. As stunt coordinator, I've wondered how much of the kills was already scripted as opposed to how much were you involved in kind of directing how they were going to be done. Like, um, did they have in the script a syringe in the eyeball and the face boiled off and all that?
It was all on paper.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was all
Someday I'm
predetermined.
gonna put my script on eBay or something, you know. It's
Yeah,
got all kinds of scribbles in it and stuff.
so that was all
Yeah, it was all. Yeah, and we talked a little about it, and he said, "This is what we're gonna do," and so I just kind of fell into it and did it the way I wanted to do it. I mean, I didn't change anything really.
Yeah.
Dr. Mixter was sitting with his back to her. She turns him around. When she turns him around, she backs into the light, which exposes me. So it was simple. It was really, we didn't do like Jason does. Jason tears things up and, he rips people apart. And there wasn't any of that stuff. There was very little violence, really. It was very subdued, the whole thing, I thought. When I see it now, I say, well, it's like an old TV show. There's really not much to it.
Very much so. You're right. Yeah, a lot left to the
Compared to what they're
imagination,
doing
especially
now.
compared to the way the films are nowadays.
Exactly.
What was the hardest part of that film? Was it the firewalk at the end?
No, making sure that I didn't run over Jack Verbois, who was Bennett Tremor.
Okay.
The way we rigged that, and I had to depend a lot on Jack, and he's a heck of a stunt guy, so I counted on him. I put on the front of the police car, I put a platform, this being the front, the windshield's here.
Mm-hmm.
He had to kind of walk backwards in it just to feel it, that he turns and steps on the platform as the car comes under him, which then thrusts him, he just thrusts himself over the hood. We couldn't do that very fast, because if I'd have missed, I'd have creamed him. If it had been off and he'd have stepped down where the platform ended, and it threw him hard telling. So if you notice in that movie, the lights are really going doo, 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 doo. That's because they undercranked the film a little bit, and they sped it up. They shot it at 24 frames, 20, 22 or 23 frames, and then shot it at, you see it at 24.
Okay.
And that just makes it go faster. We did that a lot in Herbie, all those Herbie movies with the racing thing. Because that little Volkswagen, even though it had a Porsche motor in it, couldn't keep up with those race cars. Those race cars had to kind of hang back, just like in a horse race, when the one horse is supposed to win, the other guys are looking up really low.
Right.
Oh God, I could outrun this nag. I don't know what. Anyway, yeah. So I didn't want to run over Jack.
Yeah.
So they slowed it down, and that's the way it came out. That's just part of the trick stuff, the trick photography that films are noted for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was the most difficult. Can you tell me a little bit about that firewalk? That's one of the most memorable scenes.
I got my arms singed here, nothing serious. The first time, because we did it twice.
Okay.
We had to do it twice. They rebuilt the set. The first time we came through, how it was constructed, it was the doorway. It had fans. When I say fans, they're about that thick, and they're two pieces of metal put together to form, when they fire, they have the propane attached to them. It comes out in a fan shape. That's what filled the doorway.
Okay.
I'm behind that. They get everything ready. I got the suit on. They put the stuff that we use for burning. I won't go into what it is. And they light me. I mean, they light the fire first with the fans. They light me. Then basically, if there's not enough, when I go through it, there's a lot of fire that does get on me everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, because it was an enclosed top, we shot that on a sound stage. Normally, you're either in a building that's outside and fireproofed, but we did that on a sound stage, and the fire went up and went right out towards the cameras, which is really hairy. It looks great, I think. At that time, it was one of the hottest burns because of the enclosed heat and all that anyone had done. Firestarter was pretty good. I mean, I did a good one in that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that one too, because I know there must have been, and that was filmed here in North Carolina as well.
Yeah, the Hindenburg. We came out of the nose cone like the guys that were escaping in the real Hindenburg thing.
Mm-hmm.
We were duplicating that, but it wasn't a very long burn, and it wasn't very far. We went out and turned over and landed in boxes.
Okay.
With the tarps over them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but I've done a number of those things.
By the time you were working on Firestarter, I had the techniques and had it advanced any by then, or was it
almost yearly? Now they have a gel that you can put on, and you don't have to have hardly anything.
Yeah.
You guys still put certain clothing and
Mm-hmm.
liquid stuff, and I'm not like Hal Needham. Hal Needham was one of those guys. You ever heard of him?
I don't think so.
Hal is well, that's a long story. Anyway, he was famous for hiding the secrets. Don't tell people how stunts are done and all that stuff. The actors, let them get the credit on the Carson show and whatever. And then when he got a chance after he wrote the movie Hooper and explained all those stunts on screen with the airbags and the rams and the this and the that, oh yeah, well, it's okay to do that now because it's me that's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
See, before that it was hush hush, don't tell him. Yeah. And now after that, stunt wannabes started invading Hollywood. Oh, we know this. There's nothing dangerous about this. That airbag, you can fall 300 feet onto an airbag. Come on. So anyway,
I don't know. I think there's probably still some danger involved in some of those, some of these films, some of these stunts for sure.
Lately, they do everything on cables now. And
well, yeah, now.
You got a cable the size of a pencil, and they just digitally take the cables out.
Yeah.
You put Tom Cruise hanging upside down from a building or hanging on the side of an airplane,
Yeah.
I mean, that can be dangerous. When I did, what is it, Cat from Outer Space?
Mm-hmm.
The airplane stuff, turning upside down, hanging from the airplane or whatever. 3 months later, the pilot, who was a famous pilot, Frank Tolman, Mance got killed on the plane when it got stuck in the desert. They tore a plane apart and got one motor and something flew it. And Phoenix, Flight of the Phoenix is the name of the movie.
Oh yeah, okay.
His partner Paul Mance got killed doing that. He got the plane off all right, but then it crashed and it killed him. Well, Frank, who was really the pilot of the Stearman that I was hanging, getting the kitty and the hanging, I don't know whether you ever saw that movie or not. I did.
No.
There I was doubling Ken Berry.
Okay.
He died. He had a heart attack and flew a plane into a mountain. Neither one of us had parachutes on. He came to me, he said, "You gonna wear a parachute?" I said, "I'm wearing this green jumpsuit. I can't wear a parachute." He said, "Okay, I'm not either." So he said, if you're going to go, I'm going to go with you. But we didn't, and he did later on. And it could have been that day that he had the heart attack.
Oh, man.
And you can't rehearse that stuff. There's no first aid guy up there to, to give you some. I mean, it's just ridiculous sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah.
it's your destiny, you're going to go.
Yeah, I guess so.
God's in control, then you're going to go. If he says, it's time, Dick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So far, like I said, I'm 81 years old and he hasn't called me yet. So I'm real tickled about that.
Is he not the coolest? We love him. You love him. The legend. The great Dick Warlock. There's somebody else recently celebrated a birthday. It's not today, but our buddy James Jude Courtney just recently celebrated his birthday as well. And this is a great shot. I don't think I've shared this one anywhere yet. So this is your exclusive for this week, guys. Matt and James at age 45. Oh, man. He's the best, isn't he? Reading that book and looking at all that. Just reliving the last 5.5 years now since really before that. Because like I said, going back to 2017 when it broke that Blumhouse and Trancas were making this movie. Carpenter was exec producing. Then came the JLC announcement, and it just went and went and went from there. So, it's just crazy. All right. Well, this has been a good, I don't know, season premiere, I guess. I always feel like our first anything after, like, November is like our beginning of our year. So, I don't know what this year is, but it is season premiere in a way, our 2024 kickoff. And again, the longest hiatus of since we started doing the Triple M live streams. So again, thanks for not forgetting where we live over here, this little corner of YouTube where we're at. If you haven't subscribed and you watch this long, I don't know what you're waiting for. Like the video. Think about becoming a channel member, buy some merch, all that good stuff. Find out more at HalloweenDailyNews.com. The older interviews, you can find the written interviews that I talked about with, like going back to 2018. You can find those at our main website, HalloweenDailyNews.com, and go to the interview section. All the other ones, the video interviews, the more recent stuff, basically from 2021 through now. Because it all kicked off with Dick Warlock. That was, well, actually, it kicked off with James Jude Courtney. And then Dick Warlock was our second one. But we got some other cool stuff coming this month, this year, obviously, a lot of cool stuff coming. And as far as this franchise goes, we're always setting up more exclusive interviews and conversations. And I really think, you guys tell me what you think about this. But we've been doing these live streams for almost 4 years now. And I think I might finally be ready to start bringing a guest or maybe even multiple guests on here during the live streams. We've only ever done it one time, not counting Sue, but one Zoom guest, and that was our friend Carmela McNeil, and it was awesome. And she holds that distinction right now, but I do kind of want to start inviting some guests to drop in from time to time, and maybe have multiple guests on at a time so we can have like some panel discussions, especially again as this TV series starts to take shape. Yes, pun intended. As it all starts to take shape, it might be fun to have some panel discussions with some people that know or maybe are known for or maybe even are part of this franchise. So it's not just only my own voice yapping all the time. Um, it'll still be that mostly, most weeks. Don't get me wrong, but might spice it up a little bit with that this year, if you guys would like that. So let me know what you think if that would be of interest to you. All right, you guys have been awesome. This has been great. Thank you, all of you, for your participation in the live chat. Thanks again to our members. Thanks again to Lee as well as Protect Safes for their super chats tonight. You guys rock so hard. And all you guys, this has been great. Andromeda says, sorry, so quiet tonight. I have a lot on my mind. This really helped a lot. Thanks, everyone. See y'all soon. Well, you know, when you guys say stuff like that, that just doing this is helping your mental state in some way, then yeah, that's awesome. Because yeah, I know we're just sitting here and we're hanging out, talking about horror movies, but helps my mental state a bit too. I'm not gonna lie. So the feeling's mutual, guys. And Andromeda, if we can help you and any of you guys, then yeah, that makes it even more worth it. All right, so hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully next week we'll be back here at the same Hallow time, same Hallow channel, and if not, then it'll be the week after that. But yeah, the plan is we should be pretty good to go for the next few weeks at least, and keep watching because, like I said, we might wake up tomorrow and there be some announcement and that they're going into production on this show and everything's been cast and everything. I don't think they're that far along on it, but maybe I'm wrong. You guys tell me if I'm wrong. And if you got any tips out there, if anybody wants to drop us a line, you know how to get a hold of us. And if you don't, it's real easy. Just go to the contact page at HalloweenDailyNews.com or just find us on any of the socials. IG's where I hang out most often other than here on the tube. And just send us a message and hit us up that way. Look forward to hearing from you guys. Love hanging out with you guys. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for this. Again, it means so much that you take your time and you hang out. And here it is 2 hours later. And, it's after midnight and you're still here lighting up the pumpkins in the live stream. So that means everything, guys. We're back. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Happy Halloween. Every day's Halloween. Check out our interviews from the past week if you haven't already with the Departing Seniors cast. Check out Cody Robinson for sure if you haven't already. Lots of cool stuff speaking about 2018. Lee, thanks again for the book. You're the man. All you guys, thank you for your love and support. You're the best. And I will see you all again very soon. Happy Michael Myers Monday. I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching. And one more. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Good night. Hey, everybody, I want to remind you that we have official merch. That's right. Now available in the HDN Spring Store. You can show your love for Halloween every day, all year round with official Halloween Daily News t-shirts. Many different designs are available, many different styles, colors, all sizes, including the original HDN Classic, our special Triple M crew design for the Michael Myers Monday regulars out there, and our brand new What Would John Carpenter Do design. All of these are available, like I said, multiple sizes, colors, and styles on t-shirts. And that's not all. We've got other merch available like mugs and stickers and lots of other cool stuff. Check it out now at the merch link in the description of this video.